Theodore is pretty excited because there's now a new horse at my domestic barn. Yep, it's Merlin, a 4-year-old Devil's Garden Wild Mustang that I've been gentling. This is a sort of phase 2 of training. I felt that moving Merlin into the domestic barn would really help him advance further and bring him along into the final stages of gentling. He'll spend his first day in the stall to get comfortable in it, and then he's going to turn out in the daytime and stall at night. Personally, I prefer 24/7 turnout if it's possible. But I actually like this situation for the stage that Merlin is in. It gives a consistent, clear routine of haltering to bring the horses in and out, and it provides a lot more convenient opportunities to get your hands on the horse. It's also just easier to bring other people to the barn to interact with him, and he really just gets a lot more exposure here. He had a little too much exposure to Theodore, so we had to add this additional board to put a little bit more separation between the two of them. Theodore has such a pony squeal, it's so funny. What I'm trying to do for Merlin is mimic experiences that he might have at the home of whoever ends up adopting him. For example, crossing concrete for the first time was really scary for him, and he was really shaky as he did it the first time, and now it's totally normal for him. There are countless things that happen in a day that are so normal for us, yet incredibly new for a Mustang. And I'm basically just trying to introduce as many as I can.
Merlin, you're so stinking cute. Hello, sir. Hi. What a good boy.
So here's an idea of some things around the barn that are new to Merlin. As you'll see, Merlin quickly learned the routine here. These next few days are all about getting comfortable in the barn and also with other handlers. He's already really improved in this area a lot. I've been asking Nathan to come out and help me with Merlin just to get another set of hands on him, and because Merlin's never worked with a man before. This is important because I want to get Merlin ready to meet my farrier. A big reason he is here is because of his feet. I call them his clogs because they're so big and bulky on him. Out of all the horses, his feet have been the worst. They are so long and really need that trim. Thankfully, they're not growing very fast, but they were already really long when he arrived. So this is pretty high on my priority list and something that I'm going to be working on the next few days and weeks. There's a lot of prep work before the farrier arrives, and all the more reason to really get him comfortable in the barn.
Good job, Merlin.
Thankfully, Merlin really seems to enjoy the barn life.
Merlin, did you have a good night? Look at you, sir. Look at you.
One of the first things we worked on was tying in the barn. It's important to remember that anytime you change the setting that the horse is in, it's inevitable that the horse is going to regress in some way. Merlin had been doing awesome at tying until he moved to this setting in the barn. Now he's a little bit nervous being here and tied to the wall. This is completely expected and a totally normal part of the gentling process. I also use my blocker tie rings here in this barn, so if he were to pull back really hard, he would still get that release. Going back to Merlin here, he's pretty uncomfortable tied up right now. He's been moving around a lot for him. Normally he loves to be tied. That's one of the easiest things for him. He's very quiet and loves just standing around. So you can see, it's going to take a little time to get him used to just standing around in this barn space. And again, I need him to be able to stand in this barn space and be willing to pick up his feet, which I have not yet worked on. And these are all big things that have to happen before he can see the farrier. I'm going to be creating a second video on picking up his feet pretty soon. I've mentioned in other videos that I've been doing things a little bit out of order with Merlin. It's unusual for me to be this far in his training without picking up his feet, but he's been pretty protective of them in the past. It's not so much the other tasks that he's achieved that mark him being ready to pick up his feet, but I'm really looking for this overall demeanor. Now, I'm pretty confident that if I really wanted to, I could have picked up his feet by now, but my theory is that I'll have a less stressful and easier time picking up his feet if I prepare him in a variety of other ways and really get that overall trust and just confidence with being around me and in the barn. Having a consistent routine is really helpful for building that trust. So I'm working with him at least twice a day, tying him every morning and every evening, and then doing basic chores around him. He's really gotten a lot quieter since I started doing this. He's now good about being tied in the barn, even if he's the only horse here. While he was pretty nervous and scared coming here, and he did revert in his training, he also got comfortable pretty quickly. He seems to really enjoy this barn life and the routine it brings. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video very soon.